Today, we're doing kickflips. We're playing Skateboard from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to grab off of our Urza Saga and Legacy Storm combo. Let's go check it out. In front of you is a 5-0 deck list from Magic Online user noprops, who went undefeated, featuring the new card Skateboard from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, what is it? Well, it's a 1 mana value equipment artifact. When it enters the battlefield, tap target permanent, not creature, permanent. The enchanted creature gets +1/+, plus haste, and has equipped for 1 mana. This is most comparable to Lava Spur Boots, where instead of tapping a permanent, their creature gains Ward 1. Okay, so they're a little bit different, but why is tapping a permanent good? Well, you get to clear a way of blockers for your Urza Saga construct tokens. That's the most obvious thing, at least in this deck. In other decks, you could tap things like Caracas, for example. Or here, you could actually tap a Trinisphere and turn it off using Skateboard. And Trinisphere is a card gaining a lot of popularity recently because of the fact that Hexing Squelcher has invalidated Chalice of the Void out of some of these prison decks, so now the prison decks are moving to Trinisphere. Well, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we just got a card that answers Trinisphere built into our deck already, which is really exciting. And when you look at this deck, it's sort of like a hybrid version of the Epic Storm meets Black Saga Storm, and I think that's pretty cool. So we are playing 4 Urza Saga, Gemstone Mine, a classic that I've played for years, and then Spire of Industry. And I think that this deck has a lot of really cool tools. You have the ability to gamble for an Echo of Aeons with an Orcish Bowmasters in play and just machine gun your opponent that way. You could win through the One Ring using Shield Dread the Apocalypse. There's a lot of nice things about this deck, and I think that means that it's going to be a fun video, and I really do mean that. Initially, when I was looking at the deck list, my concern was there's no way to really beat Mindbreak Trap. There's no Thoughtseize, there's no Silence, and I was a little hesitant about that until I realized, well, I guess the plan is that you don't go as fast. Instead, you use either Orcish Bowmasters alongside Shield Dread, and you set up a multiple turn Echo line, where Echo of Aeons ends up being your second spell of the turn. And that's probably just good enough. I hope it is. Let's find out if that's true. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go do some kickflips. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 on the play with this Storm deck featuring Urza Saga and a Skateboard. We have Urza Saga, we have a Gamble. I think I want to try it. I mean, you do have turn 2. I guess you don't, because you don't have an artifact for the Song of Industry, or I'm sorry, for the Spire of Industries. I'm still going to keep. I mean, I've already clicked keep, but Dark Ritual, and then you could, in theory, bargain the Urza Saga as well. Our opponent reveals a Devourer of Destiny, so they are likely Eldrazi past the turn. This mana base is a little weird, because Spire of Industry requires you to have an artifact, and Gemstone Mine doesn't play super well with Urza Saga, because you can only tap a Gemstone Mine so many times. So things can get a little awkward, but we'll try to make do. They have a turn 1 Wasteland. Okay. Urza Saga being destroyed. Name a more iconic duo. So not everyone has access to the $30 Stormtrooper section, but over the last couple months, there's been a lot of people switching from Black Saga Storm over to the Epic Storm. And a big complaint that I hear from those individuals is they expected Urza Saga to be more consistent in their Storm decks. Right now, between Wasteland and Consigned to Memory, people feel like it getting to the 3rd chapter and searching out their artifact and it being relevant isn't as good as it was a year ago. And on top of that, the beatdown plan hasn't felt very good. So I guess the reason we're playing this today is, does the beatdown game plan improve with Skateboard in the deck and clearing blockers? That is the big question everyone has. So Gemstone Mine here allows us to gamble. We can go grab, you know, a Lotus Petal or a Lion's Eye Diamond Lion's Eye Diamond doesn't allow us to win right now, but if we grabbed Chrome Mox, we could discard Spire of Industry or one of these other cards like Song of Creation or Burning Wish and go Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror, and then pass. But I don't think that is great because Gaia's Will doesn't win, so you'd have to Shield Dread or something. Like, that doesn't seem very good to me. So we'll grab Lion's Eye Diamond. We discard the Spire of Industry. We'll play the Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we'll pass. Looks like our opponent's going to cast an end-step Kozilek's command here. And they do. They play an Eye of Ugin. So a theoretical 5 mana at their disposal. Maybe even 7 if they were able to play 2 things with the Eye of Ugin. Glaring Fleshraker. Another Glaring Fleshraker. That's not good for me. Alright. We might be getting comboed out this turn. I go to 18. They have 4 cards in their hand. And now a Thought-Knot Seer. I'm taking a lot of damage. Yep. So if I were them, I would take the Dark Ritual, but let's see what their decision is. They do take Dark Ritual. I'm at 12. They have 3 cards in their hand. And now they have another Kozilek's command. That actually put them up on mana here. So now they're up to 4 more Scions in play. I might not get another turn. They might have killed me from... Well, did I start this turn at 20? I believe I did. I'm at 4. We escape Battle Mage, and this is going to kill me. We got stormed out by Eldrazi. Womp womp. Okay. We're going to want Boomerang Basics, the Visage Who Endures, empty the Warrens. You likely don't need the Runehorn Hellkite here. Hexing Squelcher does help beat Chalice of the Void, so I don't think we want to get rid of all of them. I also don't think it's a card you want a ton of, but it is helpful. I don't think Shield Dread the Apocalypse is that great here. So we could probably get rid of that. And then we'll board down to like 2 Hexing Squelchers. Let's try this. On the play for game 2. So we have Gamble for Echo. If we wait a turn, I could Dark Ritual Bowmaster's Echo. I think we keep this. It's not a great hand. It could be better, but I think it's probably fine enough. If we're trying to beat Mindbreak Trap, I think the sequence would actually be Lion's Eye Diamond, Spire of Industry, End Step, Dark Ritual, Bowmasters, untap, Gamble, Echo. That would be ideal for us. So we'll play Lion's Eye Diamond and Spire of Industry. Pass the turn. So once again, game plan is Dark Ritual, End Step into Orcish Bowmasters, and then untap, Gamble plus Echo of Aeons. They have a Cavern of Souls, names Eldrazi, Lotus Petal, another copy of a Lotus Petal, 4 cards in their hand. 3 mana now. For a first turn Eldrazi Linebreaker. Alright, so they swing. We're going to just take it. So I could try to, like, block with my Orc Army, but saving... This creature has Trample, so I'm not saving that much damage. It doesn't really seem worth it to me. And now he Chalice the Void on 0. Alright, so end step. We'll go to 15, play the Dark Ritual. And this line does beat a Mindbreak Trap. And by beat, I mean allows me to do something. Our opponent will still be alive. I don't want to get you confused. Alright, so our opponent will now go to 19. We'll go to our turn. So the Mox Opal, if I were to play it, would be countered by Chalice of the Void. But it would also be the 3rd spell for a Mindbreak Trap. We do not want to do that. And now we've selected Echo, and we'll flash it back. Storm is 2. Our opponent is paying costs. Are you trying to Mindbreak Trap? Storm's only 2, buddy. You can't do that. Yeah, nice Mindbreak Trap. Alright, now we get some Orc Army triggers. We're going to kill this Eldrazi Linebreaker. And the rest can go at them. We'll auto-yield to the rest of these triggers. Play my Urza Saga as my land for the turn. And now we'll go to combat and attack them for 9. Fair Magic. They play City of Traders, 3 available mana to them. They play Glaring Fleshraker, and pass. We draw Dark Ritual. We'll play the Visage Who Endures. They have to block with the Glaring Fleshraker on the Orc Army, so I'm allowed to attack here with the Orcish Bowmasters, because if they block with the Bowmasters, they die. They'll take 1 down to 5, and we'll just pass. Another copy of Cavern of Souls, and they will sacrifice their City of Traders. Thought-Knot Seer. Sure. They're actually dead to Skateboard. I just realized. I was like, oh, you know, I could do this, but they're actually just dead to the Skateboard. Skateboard is lethal here. I was thinking about like, oh, if I make a construct, like, could I do this? And like, the skateboard is just going to tap the Thought-Knots here and then kill them, which is pretty funny. We draw Guy's Will because why not? Let's make another construct because I can. So here in match number 1, we're going to get to see Skateboard tap down a blocker to deal lethal. Cowabunga, dudes. Alright, so we will tap the Thought-Knot Seer, and the opponent concedes the game to a kickflip. Alright, so we win game number 2. I'm glad we got to do that at least once in this video. That's fun. And now we have to win game 3 on the draw. Do we want more copies of Hexing Squelcher on the draw versus the Chalice of the Void deck? I don't know what else I would board out is the issue. Empty the Warrens is good for beating Leyline of the Void, but maybe on the draw it's not realistic, so we can get rid of that. 3 Squelcher is probably fine. Let's try this. Game number 3 on the draw. We have the Squelcher. I do not have a red mana. I'm going to keep anyway. I think that this hand has a lot of potential. We just need to win. You know, I know that sounds silly, but drawing a red mana shouldn't be the end of the world if we want to, you know, achieve what we're trying to do here. And then if we do, we have Squelcher into our zeros, or we could get lucky and they might Chalice of the Void on 1, and then you could Squelcher off of the Chrome Mox. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here. They play Lotus Petal, 3 mana for likely an Eldrazi Linebreaker, and they do. So this means that there's probably a Chalice of the Void for 0 post-combat again. How this person likes to sequence their spells. I go to 16, and no, they just pass, so they must have a Mindbreak Trap. Another Squelcher. We'll play Saga. Play the Chrome Mox. Imprint the Squelcher. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond next, because if they want a Mindbreak Trap, they can hit my Squelcher then. Not the end of the world. Don't really care about that. And they're pausing because this is the 3rd spell. And the Squelcher resolves. We will pass. Our opponent pretty strongly giving us the read that they have Mindbreak Trap based on all of their pauses. Maybe it's a bluff, but our hand is capable of beating it, I'll say. It's not guaranteed to. If we can get Saga to the 3rd chapter to grab a Lion's Eye Diamond, we can Burning Wish into Peer into the Abyss, and that would be Storm 2, which gets underneath the Mindbreak Trap, and then it should be pretty easy to win after that. The question is, can we get Saga to the 3rd chapter and live? Our opponent plays another copy of Lotus Petal. Looks like they have a Wastecape Battle Mage here. I don't love that. Yep. They go after my diamond. Unfortunate. They're now going to pump up the Wastecape Battle Mage. And I think I'm supposed to trade here just to buy time. We'll take 5 down to 11. Saga goes to the 2nd chapter. We'll play another one. And now we'll pass. My plan is to make another, or make my first construct of this game with Years of Saga. So now they have mana for Thought-Knots here. And there it is. They should take the Echo of Aeons, but let's see what they actually decide on. And they do take the Echo. They're not going to give their Thought-Knots here haste. And I'll take 9 here, going down to 4. There's no point in blocking, I think. Well, I guess I could block this and save some damage. Maybe I should. So we'll block the Thought-Knots here. I'll go down to 10. So now Urza Saga is going to hit the 3rd chapter. We'll tap it for mana. So I can go Burning Wish into the Sideboard Echo here. That is a possibility. I mean, I also have a deterministic win if I'm willing to lose to Mindbreak Trap, and I don't think we are in this spot. Another thought is I could make another blocker, and then next turn Urza Saga gets the other diamond, so if I draw a land, I have a deterministic Peer into the Abyss. But I would need them to not have another Thought-Knots here, and I would have to draw another land. A spell mana wouldn't do it. But my Echo would have mana floating. They have 2 cards in hand, and I'm pretty sure one of them is Mindbreak Trap. I'm going to make the construct. This is a risky line, but I think it has a higher upside than just Burning Wish for Echo Pass or Burning Wish for Echo Spin with no resources. So this is what I'm choosing to do here. If I die, so be it. I think that the upside of just beating Mindbreak Trap here is potentially worth it. They're going to combat, and they target their Eldrazi Linebreaker. I'll block and kill the Linebreaker and take 5 damage, 6 damage, down to 4. They pass the turn. Saga goes to the 3rd chapter. Another diamond. So that could get me to Peer mana, but is that what matters here? So I could get Opal, and then I could Boomerang Basics the Thought Seer and buy some more time. Because now they don't have an Eldrazi Linebreaker. But then they could replay the Thought Seer and take my Burning Wish. I think I'm going to grab the Opal. We'll Boomerang Basics on the Thought Seer. Storm is 1. So my game plan just became to Burning Wish for Echo of Aeons, and then pass the turn, I think. I get to draw a card when Thought Seer leaves the battlefield. Hexing Squelcher, not really a card we want here. Spell number 2 is Burning Wish. This is going to go grab the Echo of Aeons. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Maybe this is a bad decision, I don't know. Because if they trap here, I could spin, but I'm just not confident in that. So we're going to pass. And then on their turn, I'm expecting them to recast the Thought Seer, and then in response, we'll discard our hand. So that means next turn, I get to Echo with 5 available mana. And maybe we'll get lucky and I'll draw an Orcish Bowmasters for the turn, who knows. They have a Cavern of Souls. That's not good for me, because if they have another Eldrazi Linebreaker, I'm dead. Well, they're making a blue, so it's not Eldrazi Linebreaker. Alright, so Thought Seer. We can let it resolve, but then with the trigger on the stack, I'm going to discard my hand. Okay, so next turn, as I mentioned, I can Echo of Aeons with 5 available mana. That is what we're going for here. Orcish Bowmasters might be my best draw. It's time to go. We drew Urza's Saga is our card for the turn. I'll play it. I think guaranteeing the mana here is probably ideal. I'll make black mana with the Mox Opal. We'll add 3 blue. Tap the Urza's Saga. And Echo of Aeons. So we'll have Grixis mana available. Storm is 1. That was not great. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. I think we have to hope our opponent did not draw into Mindbreak Trap and then spin again. We'll play Lotus Petal, Pearl Mox, imprint the Hexing Squelcher, gamble, and we'll select another Echo of Aeons. Make 3 black. And this time I'm not going to float blue, because this will give me Beseech the Mirror mana if I need it. Storm is 6. Wow, we were not Mindbreak trapped. Okay, so they're at 20. We have Burning Wish. So Burning Wish would be Storm 8. Beseech the Mirror would be Storm 9. Tendrils of Agony would be Storm 10. So I could play a Bowmasters. I just don't know if that's a good idea. I think I'm supposed to just try to go for the win. And I'll add 3 black. Burning Wish on the stack. Storm 8. It appears to have resolved. I will grab Beseech the Mirror. And we'll cast it, sacrificing Chromox. Storm is 9. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Cast it. Storm is now 10. And Tendrils of Agony. Storm 11. I'll let you. Does my Tendrils of Agony resolve? And it does. Awesome. So Skateboard wins game 2. And Urza's Saga for Diamond arguably wins game 3, so that was pretty exciting. Take that, Mindbreak Trap enjoyers, and we are now 1-0 in this Legacy League. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh inventions, or even beta. I'm going to open a beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. We are back for the second match, and on the play, we're facing Lands, another deck, well, what I assume is Lands. I faced them yesterday and they were playing Lands, but another deck that could be playing Skateboard. So here we have double Orcish Bowmasters, and is that good enough, I guess, is the question versus a deck like Lands, because I don't think the creature beatdown plan will be good enough. I think, unfortunately, this hand is a mulligan. So close, though. This hand is garbage. Going down to 5. This is fine. We'll keep. Get rid of Bowmasters. Actually, hold on. For some reason, I was thinking I had to gamble. I don't have to gamble. We can go Dark Ritual, Bowmasters, Diamond Echo, Dark Ritual, Orcish Bowmasters. We'll save targets, all at you, and then auto yield. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond, and now we'll make 3 blue. and flashback the Echo of Aeons. Assuming that this resolves, we'll create 7 triggers that all go at the opponent and ping them. Now they're at 12. This does not win, but I could put another Bowmasters on the table. So they're at 12. This is 9. So if I play Bowmasters next turn, I'm 1 short of lethal. So should I play out the extra Bowmasters now is the question. And I think the answer is yes, because they would need an answer to the 9/9 Orc Army. So we'll just pass. Would have been a really cool turn to have drawn Skateboard, let me tell you. And our opponent has conceded the game. How about that? So most likely lands. We'll bring in Boomerang Basics, the Besage Who Endures, get rid of Hexing Squelchers, and I think that's it. Hit submit. On the draw versus lands, it's a fine hand. Like, I like having the Boomerang Basics. It's a little weak to Force of Vigor, but I think this deck in general is. I'm going to keep it. I might end up regretting my decision, but this is what we're doing. We have a Mox Diamond, discards Wasteland, plays another Wasteland, and now they pass. We'll play Spire of Industry and a Mox Opal, pass the turn. And step a Disruptor Flute, and they name it Echo of Aeons. Reasonable. Come on, Wasteland my Spire. Do it. Do it! And they did. So now I can play Urza's Saga, assuming they don't have another one. Or Life from the Loam. Brutal. Alright, so it looks like that is not going to be on the table this game. We draw Song of Creation. I will just play my Saga and pass. They can now dredge Life from the Loam, but they choose not to. They replay the Wasteland. Of course, we draw Guy as well. Bummer. We'll play the Spire of Industry, and I will suspend the Guy as well. Pass. They do choose to dredge Life from the Loam. They mill over Crop Rotation, Mox Diamond, and Mazavith. And they can now cast the Life from the Loam, getting back 2 copies of Wasteland and that Mazavith. Guy's Will goes down a suspend counter. Another Gemstone Mine. I think I'm going to Boomerang Basics on my own Mox Opal here, hoping to draw another artifact for Metalcraft purposes so I can actually cast this Song of Creation, because I think that's our path forward. Alright, so Echo of Aeons is being named with the Disruptor Flute, so I think I'm supposed to just pass here. The Wasteland is back. Guy's Will. Another Saga. I think we just play the Saga and pass. Force them to Wasteland me. Like, they're not developing at all. Our opponent's kind of just, like, in a holding pattern with us, and I think that's okay. So, I'm just trying to get a little bit more mana so I can do something meaningful here. They Life from the Loam again. Guy's Will down to 1 counter. So next turn, Guy's Will is going to come off suspend. What should we do then? Try to gamble for another artifact? That way I can actually Song of Creation? We'll grab a Lotus Petal. Discards a Mox Opal. I think that's okay. And now we'll pass. They do not dredge the Life from the Loam. They do play Wasteland. And now Guy's Will coming off suspend the old-fashioned way. Good, honest magic, let me tell you. We will cast it. We draw another gamble. We'll play Gemstone Mine, play the Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal, and now that gives us 4 mana for Song of Creation. Disruptor Flute. Sure. Probably names Beseech the Mirror, and they do. So we'll do blue, green, red, and generic Song of Creation. It's important to start by playing a land, because once the Song of Creation is theoretically destroyed, you don't get to do that anymore. So let's do the free thing first. And now we'll trigger our song. Cannot currently play these echoes. I say currently because I do have a Boomerang Basics in the graveyard. And we can bounce this Disruptor Flute naming the echo. And now I can play another Lion's A Diamond. We'll make blue and black. Oh, I can't do that. Did I just fizzle? Because I can't trigger song again? I did. I probably would have cracked the diamond if I had realized. But I guess that doesn't help me. Yeah, I guess I messed up because I was so concerned with bouncing the flute. I should have bounced my own opal. I just punted. Okay, we have to pass. Yeah, I messed up. Ooh, that's not good. Because I could have gone Boomerang Basics on my own opal and then not have cut myself off mana. And I would have drawn like 5 more cards. Ah, that's disappointing. Bryant, you idiot. We have no main deck echoes left. They're all in exile now. We'll draw. Is it a spell? It is. So we'll cast the Chrome Mox, and now in response we'll add black. Actually, Maybe I want to tap the Opal. We'll add red and black. I should have responded to the trigger. I clicked OK too fast because I could have drawn something to imprint onto the Chrome Mox. We'll target them, save targets, auto yield. We'll play our land for the turn, or at least our first land. And now another copy of Orcish Bowmasters. Probably should have used the Urza Saga mana. We'll play the Seiju as our other land for the turn. Yeah, I just messed up. I should have used it, because now I'm cut on colors, which is really bad. We'll play Burning Wish, draw a Dark Ritual that I can't use, and our opponent has conceded. Okay, I did not play this game very well. That said, the deck kind of carried me, so I'll take it, but I need to play better. We are now 2-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We are back at it for the third match and on the play. Unfortunately, I think it's a mulligan. So you could keep this, bottom the Spire of Industry, and then Chrome Mox, play Spire, Hexing Squelcher, turn 2 Dark Ritual Shieldred. Hope that's good enough. I have no idea what they're playing. We'll play the Chrome Mox, Imprint Gamble, and Hexing Squelcher. Pass the turn. If they play a non-island here, like this Bloodstained Mire, we're going to be a little disappointed because we could have gambled for an Echo. Well, not with me drawing Song of Creation, so that was never a reality. I'm really worried about Fatal Push here, but I think I'm still supposed to play the Shieldred. Pass the turn. They fetch with the Bloodstained Mire, for an Undercity Sewers. No Fatal Push, please. Animate Dead, so they're on Reanimator. They go to 15. Basic Swamp. They're going to Collective Brutality on my Hexing Squelcher, discarding Atraxa Grand Unifier and Archon of Cruelty. That is devastating. Okay, that really hurt. Burning Wish doesn't really help me here. We can attack, play the Burning Wish, and go grab like Echo of Aeons. You could grab Boomerang Basics, but I don't think bouncing an Archon of Cruelty is a winning strategy. So now they'll go down to 9, which is still 1 life for Reanimate on Archon of Cruelty, but they have the Animate Dead. We'll discard the Echo, and now they have Reanimate on my own Shieldred. Wow. Alright, well that was miserable. I don't think there's another way you could describe that game. Unfortunate. We do have Leyline of the Void. We also have a Helm of Obedience. We'll get rid of the Shieldred after what just happened. Probably don't need the Runehorn Hellkite. I could be wrong. I think I like the idea of keeping in Skateboard. Maybe we could shave down a couple copies of Orcish Bowmasters because, like, are we really going to be killing large creatures with it? Probably not. And then we don't want them reanimating it versus us anyway. Still need one more cut, though. I think it's another Bowmasters, unfortunately. We'll try this. On the play for game 2. We will keep. We drew the 1 Bowmasters, just as we drew it up. Our opponent's mulligan to 5. We will put Leyline of the Void onto the table. Play the Chrome Mox, imprint Tendrils of Agony, play the Spire of Industry, and pass the turn. They have Polluted Delta. They're going to unmask me. I will respond with the Orcish Bowmasters, target you, and they'll hit a gamble. They have 3 cards in their hand. Beseech the Mirror. So we're 2 mana away from Helm of Obedience winning this game. Swing. They search out Underground Mortuary and surveil away a Cabal Therapy. Mox Opal, so now we're a Lotus Petal away. Swing, play the Opal, pass the turn. They just draw and pass. We draw Echo. We have a couple draws that win us the game now, because I could Beseech the Mirror for a Lion's Eye Diamond, and then spin, and that would win the game. And that's Lion's Eye Diamond, so we have 2 ways to win here. So let's cast Beseech the Mirror. I took a point of damage I didn't need to, but I don't care, I'm just being lazy. Bargain the Mox Opal, and we'll go grab Helm of Obedience. So they have to have a counterspell here or else they're dead. And if they do have a counterspell, I have Echo of Aeons plus the Bowmasters. And our opponent concedes, so now we're off to game number 3. So seeing Unmask from the opponent makes me think that they're not actually a blue variant. Same thing with the Underground Mortuary. I could be wrong. They could just be on like the Worldly Tutor builds that are green. But I'm wondering if we want Squelchers. It's tough to say. Like, are they blue just for show and tell, or do they have Force of Will? But my thing is, like, I don't think Bowmaster is good in this matchup regardless, so I think I'm going to leave the configuration as it is. This looks like a game where Skateboard could be good. Keep. The opponent, excuse me, the opponent has quickly mulliganed down to 4. They paused on their 6 for a while. They opened their 5 and immediately sent it back. So, not what they wanted to see here. But we're facing a Reanimator combo deck, and we have Leyline of the Void. So, their game plan needs to be to remove the Leyline of the Void or go around it with Show and Tell. They have Bloodstained Mire, Skateboard. I mean, it's a card I wanted to get with my Saga, but oh well. I think we'll just play the Skateboard now then. I will tap my Leyline of the Void. It still works when tapped, unlike Trinisphere. We will pass. They put a Spoils of the Vault to the graveyard. Usually, we did see that game too. Those builds usually are non-Force of Will builds. Witherbloom Apprentice, so they're only half the combo away now. And if they surveilled away the Spoils of the Vault, that means they might already have it. We'll play Urza Saga, Lotus Petal, Mox Opal. We'll make a construct, and then we'll equip it and attack for 5. We need to hope that they do not have the Chain of Smog in their hand. They have 2 cards, and they got rid of a Spoils of the Vault. Looks like they have it. Wow, mulligan to 4 into the full combo. Wow, they got us. And we lose match number 3. We are now 2-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We're back for the 4th match, and let's try to get a win. We are on the play. So this hand spins on turn 1. I don't know what our opponent would be playing. There's no protection. I think we can do better. I'm going to mulligan. This is better. We'll keep, get rid of Dark Ritual. We'll play the Urza Saga, Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, and I think I want to turn 1 the Squelcher. In case they play a Thoughtseize, it would put Echo to the graveyard. Even if the Urza Saga would be destroyed. I also don't know what they're playing. Like, they might not be on Dimir tempo. Who knows? They play an Island, Runehorn, Hellkite. We'll play the Spire of Industry and go to combat. Oh, I clicked too fast. Whoops. Just lost 2 points of damage. They have an Urza Saga, Mishra's Bauble, Urza's Bauble, Mishra's Bauble. So they're likely the Affinity deck. They play a Thoughtcast. Mox Opal. So now our Saga will go to the 3rd chapter. I can go grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll make 3 blue. And let's flash back the Echo. If I lose this game by 2 points of damage, I'm going to be so sad. Okay, so this is a win. How we do it is up to us. But we could go Dark Ritual Wheel with a Bowmasters, or I could just take my guaranteed Peer into the Abyss, which is probably the right move. I will hold control, cast Burning Wish. Now we're going to make a bunch of mana. Yes. Select Peer into the Abyss because I can. Target me. Storm is 7. And we'll start casting spells. Looks like there's a Tendrils of Agony right here. So my 2 damage was not relevant. Alright, so we take game number 1 over Affinity. I don't think this is a matchup I'm even supposed to sideboard for. Like, maybe the Viseju Who Endures, but that would be about it. We'll get rid of the Runehorn Hellkite, maybe. But I guess Runehorn is an uncounterable wheel. It's tough. I want everything here. It's probably not a very good Skateboard matchup, if I'm being honest. They have tons of little blockers, and it's an Urza Saga mirror. So maybe Skateboard is actually correct. It hurts, because I don't want to sideboard out the card that the video is based on, but we're going to make the correct decision here and only use cards to put them in winning situations. Okay, we will keep. I like Squelchers versus 8 cast. I also like Orcish Bowmasters in this matchup. They just play an island and pass. We'll play Gemstone Mine and pass. They have an Ancient Tomb, Pinnacle Emissary, into Skateboard. Okay. I think I'm going to allow this to be tapped. I did consider Dark Ritual Bowmasters, but if I draw a land, that means next turn I could go Squelcher. I could go Ritual Squelcher Bowmasters, which is probably better. Aether Spellbomb is a little weird. They draw off the bauble up to 3 cards, so I did not draw the land. Let's play Lion's Eye Diamond. It resolves, and I will cast Gamble. We'll go grab Echo of Aeons, discards Orcish Bowmasters. No! I wanted that. They play Emery, Lurker of the Lock. They go to 16. They can equip their Skateboard to the Emery, and that's what they do. Emery about to do some ollies over there. Urza's Bauble, and they use it. We reveal a Hexing Squelcher, and now they'll attack for 4. I go to 16. They have 3 cards in hand, about to draw up to 4. I missed on the mana again. You know what? I'm going to be reckless here. This isn't me just doing it because I don't want to play this deck. This is, I think waiting is a bad call because of this Aether Spellbomb. I'll never have a good opportunity to use the Squelcher. So this is purposely reckless because I think, yeah, it's reckless to jam an Echo into a Force of Will here. But if they have Spellbomb, you're not guaranteed to resolve it anyway. And this is a little odd because we have Beseiju as our land, which would have been a Skateboard. But if we had a red mana here, this would be a protected win. But we don't. So we'll play Dark Ritual. Another Dark Ritual. So Storm is 4. They're pausing here like they have the Force of Will. Please Force of Will this, I beg you. Let's try Diamond and see if they Force of Will this. I would love it if they did. They did not. We're going to just cast Beseech Dimir. No bargain. And they have Force of Will. I will play my land and pass. They play Urza's Saga, Mox Opal, another Pinnacle Emissary. Okay. Looks like now they have a Kappa Cannoneer. So I need to draw Echo of Aeons. That is pretty much my only out here. They replay the Lotus Petal. They equip a Skateboard. This is going to knock me down to 3. They did not use the Urza's Bauble, but I also did not draw anything, and I am dead. So now we're going to game 3. We were so close that game. I just needed the Beseiju to be a land that made red mana. We'll try it again. On the play. I think this hand's a big trap. We will mulligan. This hand is so close. I think you're supposed to wait and try to draw a land so that way you could do everything. Because if you draw another mana source, you can go Dark Ritual, Squelcher, Bowmaster's Echo. But do you draw the land is the question. We're going to keep and bottom the gamble. I will play Lotus Petal and then pass the turn. They play Sink in a Stupor as a land. Mox Opal. Alright, give me a land. I'd take a Lotus Petal. Does Dark Ritual resolve? I certainly hope so. We're going to Force of Will on Dark Ritual. Weird. Okay, we'll pass. They play Pinnacle Emissary, Mishra's Bauble, Urza's Saga. They have 1 card. And they did not use the Mishra's Bauble, which could be Metallic Rebuke or like a Flusterstorm. I think I'm going to play Squelcher and spin. I mean, I really want to Bowmasters. I'm just not convinced it's the correct decision. It's probably Metallic Rebuke if I had to take a guess. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, and let's draw a new hand. This is a deterministic win next turn, so I will pass. They have Dismember. No! Brutal. I don't love that. They play an Ancient Tomb. Pinnacle Emissary again. They're at 10 life now. Yeah, a lot of damage. They're going to make a construct, and now they're using their baubles. We're in a lot of trouble here. They have lethal on board next turn due to Skateboard, so I have to win right now, and we need them to not have any interaction. Another land was not good. We'll play the Saga, play Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Opal, throw Mox. We're thinking about this one. So I could try to Runehorn Hellkite, but I wouldn't have mana. I'd be down to 1 mana. Or I could just try to Disrespect, but I would lose to literally anything. I just don't know if I believe in Runehorn Hellkite with 1 open mana. Maybe it's... I think I'm going to Hellkite. I'm going to end up regretting it, but they're pausing a lot, which makes me think that they might have something. We'll imprint the Burning Wish. We'll make a black mana with the Opal. And we will Runehorn Hellkite. Discard our hand and let's draw 7. They did have Force of Will and another Dismember. We got rid of the Skateboard. So am I dead? There's no longer a Skateboard. I'm at 19. They have 17 power in play. They can make a Saga construct. I guess I have to try to spin with the Echo. Blindside Diamond is resolved. We'll make 3 blue and attempt to flash back the Echo of Aeon. It resolved, but I drew into nothing. So you might be saying, Bryant, you can play Hexing Squelcher and block. No, I cannot. So they're going to make a construct and grab Skateboard, and I'm dead. So we lose due to our opponent's Skateboard, but also a little bit of bad variance on our side, just our wheels not being very good. And now we're 2-2. After a hot start, we've cooled off. Can we get match number 5? Let's find out. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. The final round on the draw, we're going to try this and see what we can make work. They have Basic Swamp into Moonshadow. Dark Ritual, let's see it. Nope, another Gemstone Mine. We'll play Urza's Saga, play out the Lion's Eye Diamond, pass the turn. They have a Verdant Catacombs, and now they fetch. The Moonshadow is going to grow. They play a Nethergoyf, and another copy of Nethergoyf, and they swing. We draw another Echo of Aeons. So I'm going to Flash and Bowmasters will deal 1 to a Nethergoyf, and now I'll add 3 blue. Flashback Echo. So that Nethergoyf will die, and I can now ping here. I think I stacked my triggers wrong, and I'm going to have to put an extra damage on the Moonshadow now. But I might want to do an extra one just in case, so that way if they have like a Street Wraith, I don't get punished. Okay, and now we'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, and now we'll gamble for another Echo, and let's spin. I'll let you. And the opponent concedes. So Bowmasters got the job done. Likely don't need Hexing Squelcher versus the mono black deck. We'll bring in Boomerang Basics, Beseiju, and Empty the Warrens. Probably don't need the Runehorn Hellkite either. So we will try this. This is a turn 1 deterministic win, assuming we are not hit by a discard spell. We keep these. Leyline of the Void. So we can Burning Wish into Beseech the Mirror into our main deck copy of Empty the Warrens. That's pretty good. They play a Polluted Delta and fetch for a Bayou. Moonshadow. That is not a discard spell. We will draw. There's a Saga. We'll play that because I can bargain it later. And now we'll play Chrome Mox, Exile Burning Wish, Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we will hold priority and cast the Burning Wish. We'll tap the Mox Opal for a black, sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond. Honestly, I was thinking that this was an Empty the Warrens. It might end up just being natural Tendrils of Agony. So this is from 6, we'll sacrifice the Saga. From 7, Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice the Opal. Yeah, I think that this is just a natural win. No Empty the Warrens needed. Sacrifice the Chrome Mox. So that's Storm 8. So then Beseech the Mirror is Storm 9. And Storm 10 is Tendrils of Agony. No hand, no board, no graveyard, just the stack and a perfect life total. Wow. That's good, clean magic. Storm 10 perfects. That is a beautiful, beautiful sight. I love Legacy. It's so great sometimes. Yeah, we finished this with a Heroes 3-2 finish. We got our entry fee back. You love to see it. So what are my honest takes on the deck? This is going to sound a little harsh. Spire of Industry is not a Legacy playable card. This card was actually pretty terrible. I also think that Gemstone Mine in your Urza Saga deck is ambitious, because there was a couple of times where we couldn't tap our land even though I wanted to. So the mana base is my biggest gripe. I think Skateboard was fine. I don't think we got to do any of the ultra sweet stuff, but we did get to tap down a Thought-Knot Seer in match number 1, which was pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about the Shield Dread Orcish Bowmaster stuff. I feel like it's okay, but is okay what we're aiming for. If that's what you're into, go for it. Don't let me stop you. I'm just not convinced that this is better than the Epic Storm, but I'm also open to being wrong. Congratulations to No Props once again on their 5-0. And I had a lot of fun playing the deck today, I will say that. So hopefully you all had fun watching it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. But that's all I've got for today. So cowabunga, dudes. Have a great day and keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're looking to further support us, click that join button down below, where in our $10 tier, you get early access to all videos on top of the Legacy of the Epic Storm Sideboard Guide. But to further your value, join that Stormtrooper tier where I work on decks each and every day with the community. It's a great value add. I'd highly recommend checking that out.